This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. Eddie, what a stunning knockout. Conor Ben told me yesterday he gives receipts in the gym. That was one hell of a receipt tonight against Ogawa. Nobody does that to Ogawa. No. Talk me through it.
Just amazing. You know, people talk about, does Joe Cordina have the strength and the power? And you know, I called it yesterday. I said I fancied him by knockout just because I feel he's a sharp puncher, and I just believe that Ogawa, you know, jumps in, he's very aggressive, and Joe's got fantastic timing, and that's what that was tonight. That was timing, that was knockout of the year, that was knockout of the decade, whatever you want to call it, but that's how you announce yourself on the world scene, and a massive night for Joe Cordina.
It's a massive night for Joe Cordina. In the interview I did with him, he did mention Shakur Stevenson's name and said, you know what, ideally Principality, but I'm locked in on this fight. He said also that this will open doors for that. Yeah. So Shakur Stevenson's rated as pound for pound, you know, unbelievable fighter. What we're talking about next for Joe, because how do you where do you go from there after that?
You've got Rakimov, who's a mandatory, you've got Zelfa Barrett, and you know, I rate Shakur Stevenson as one of the best pound for pound fighters in boxing. But when you produce performances like that, you have to start talking about those fights, and you know, you have to start believing you can win those kind of fights with performances like that. Joe Cordina is a world-class fighter, he's an elite fighter, he's a world champion, you know, who's just knocked out the champion cold in 2 rounds. So, you know, Shakur Stevenson, that's a huge undisputed fight, maybe even at the Millennium Stadium. And I just, you know, I'm so happy for him because he's changed his life tonight, and that knockout's going to be seen everywhere.
Where does that one punch knockout rank in the ones you've seen? Because we've seen a lot, but that was stunning.
I think that was, I mean, sometimes you always say, you know, it's the best knockout I've ever seen, but in that moment, you know, to produce that in that moment, I think was one of the greatest knockouts I've ever seen. And you know, Ogawa tried to get up, fair play to him. I mean, when he went down, you know, I thought he was badly hurt, and thank God he's okay, but just incredible.
I couldn't believe the ref started counting, to be honest, because he was gone. Talk to me about Zelfa Barrett. Zelfa Barrett, for me, put on a career best performance tonight. He was composed, didn't get the best of him, didn't just jump in. What do you make of his performance? Huge fight with Cordina now as well, if you want to set that up.
Boxed really well. Korbanov's like really tricky and hard to nail clean. Like to see Zelfa sometimes just believe in his power a little bit more. He's a very strong super featherweight. You know, could set up a big domestic fight with Joe Cordina. Could defend that European title as well. But a big win for him and a big win for the Barrett family.
Last one from me. We didn't get time to speak about it, but George Kambosos allegedly playing mind games by coming in overweight. Not quite sure I believe it. Devin Haney's dad as well has got to Australia. How big of a plus is that for Devin, and do you believe what George were doing? Because he doesn't tend to come in overweight.
I don't know why he came in overweight. You know, he's not left Australia. It's a bit of a strange one. He's not a huge lightweight either, but great that Bill's got in the country as well. I expect a good fight there tonight.
What do you expect to happen?
I think Devin Haney might stop him.
Out there, but
I don't know what the price was with our sponsors Betfred for Joe Cordina to win by stoppage, but I think it was
second round.
Price. Yeah, big price.
Eddie, appreciate it.
Cheers.